All right, folks, you've seen this man strapping people down, locking them up. If you play against us, I've seen it. I've been intercepted by him numerous times at practice. Mr. Jamal, what's going on, man?
How's it going, Josh? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. I'm excited that you're back. Tell the people at home a little bit about you, your history playing the game, maybe some other athletic stuff. What led up to today?
Okay. I've always been an athletic person, just by build from being young. In middle school, I tried any and every possible sport I could have. Everything but football. I was always a small kid, so I stuck to soccer, basketball, a lot of baseball. Baseball was my main sport for about 12 years. Then I got to high school and realized that there's a football team. So I was like, you know what? It's the only sport I haven't tried out. Let's go give it a try. And I fell in love with it slightly at the beginning. It took me a little bit to get into being the smaller guy on the team, being this little 90-pound, 5'5" kid going up against 160-pound, 6-foot guys, and a lot like that. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just stuck with it, and I back and forth between baseball and football over high school. Then eventually, I kind of started focusing more on football than I did on baseball. Went to lots of training camps. So I was probably about 4 or 5 training camps a year in between seasons, including the gym and programs with our current school. Just trying to get better, faster, stronger, trying to be that next guy up. Grade 12 year took off, and I finally decided that I'd make my switch from baseball to football. So I kind of committed 100% to that. Ended up going to Senior Bowl for Team South Alberta. Unfortunately, did not go the way we wanted it to go, but it was a great experience. I made a lot of new connections just from football and around, new team and friends, stuff like that. After that, I basically just continued on, and I had reached out to the Vancouver Island Raiders, and our head coach at Crossford High School was very close with the Raiders as he played there in previous years. So he was trying to get me out there, hooking me with the guys and stuff like that. Eventually met up with them, had a great conversation with the head coach at the time, and decided that that's where I wanted to play. So I went out there in 2019 after I graduated. Played about 1 year. It was a little rough out there, so I decided I wanted to come back home and be back in Alberta for a little bit. And then the Irish had reached out to me just after COVID had hit. And I realized that, there was no actual kind of league going on for most things going around football-wise. So I figured I'm not going to go out to BC. I might as well play some ball for my hometown team and stick around, get to have some of my friends come out and see, and figured it'd be a great opportunity. I showed up to the first practice, and it was a little weird because I was the youngest guy on the team at the time. So that was a little nerve-wracking coming into that, and just playing with a bunch of adults who hit faster or hit stronger, move faster. The entire game is just sped up even more just from junior football. So that was a big adjustment, but our team, we had a really great team that year, and a lot of the guys just made me feel welcome really early on, and helped me settle into that group there and the team, and becoming a family. And we went through the year. Unfortunately, I sustained an injury pretty early on in the season, which took me out. But I still hung around, came to practices, make sure I was showing up to games, and helping cheer the guys on. Towards the end of the season, I had one of my Irish teammates reach out to me and said that he had a coach in Kelowna for the Sun that was looking at me, and he gave me my information, passed it on. So I went up to Kelowna in 2022 to play for them, and was still in my recovery from my injury a couple years ago, but I got some good training, learned a lot of new things out there. It was a fantastic experience overall. And I realized, again, as much as I love BC, Alberta was kind of my spot, and I still wasn't having that family piece that I felt when I was originally with the Irish. So I came back, and I looked at Anton in January. We were at the indoor training session. I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, how do you feel about me coming home and playing again this year?" And he instantly accepted me, said, "Hey man, we're here for you. This is your team. So I decided that Irish was my place to be. This was my family, and this is where I was going to continue to play.
Man, lucky for us, to our benefit, man. One thing I would say that really kind of sticks out to me for you is resilience. Like, I know you played several games dinged up. You were playing through pain. You still came back. And it says a lot about your character that you want to be somewhere that also feels like a family. And you bring that dynamic to practice. You challenge our receivers, whether it's pushing them, talking to them, getting them prepared for the actual thing, but you make all of us better, man. And I'm excited about that. Obviously, you're young. You have some experience with junior. What are some of your aspirations going forward with football?
My goal is just kind of to see where it takes me. I just show up every day, just put in everything that I can, get the work done, and whatever opportunities that come from it is what comes from it. I'm not going out looking for anything. I'm happy where I'm at, and if opportunities arise, I will happily take them. But good.
Outstanding, man. Since you first joined our club to now, this past season, what are some of the biggest changes that you've noted in the organization?
Oh man, my first year, it was a little different adjustment for me, and it wasn't anything like I had been used to. Going into men's league, it was almost felt a little less organized, but it very quickly changed and picked up and got switched around, and the dynamic felt a lot different than playing other leagues or other age groups, stuff like that. And then very quickly, even over the year that I went to the Sun, I heard so many great things about the program. You guys turned it around tenfold. And so I was very excited to come back and see what everything was like, see how practices were structured. And then showing up this year, like, man, it was night and day from even before last time I played. Everything was organized. We had specific time sections for everything. It was to a T. We're holding guys accountable. We're making sure that we're getting the work done. It's a lot different.
Yeah, man. You mentioned that you were kind of one of the smaller dudes when you were in high school, matching up against taller guys. Now, from what I remember in practice, you're usually the taller one looking down at some of our receivers.
No.
But we got some new blood coming into the mix. You're a leader on the defensive side, on the whole team, but especially in that defensive back core. We got some new people. What's your mentality coming into this season with those guys, taking them under your wing and leading that group?
I want to make sure that everyone enjoys their time there. That's the worst part about being in certain programs or places, is that it feels more like a job rather than something that you want to do. You want to be there, you want to have fun, you want to hang out with the guys, you want to get better, you want to, just progress. Yeah. It's just light a fire under their ass, man. Like, this is third year in a row that hopefully, we'll be back in that championship this year. It'll be 3 years for you guys and second year for me, and I'm not leaving without that ring. So I'm making sure that everyone this year is on it from day one. We're 100% go. I want dogs this year, man. I don't want no soft stuff. Let's have fun. Let's ball out, and let's go get ourselves a ring this year.
Let's get it, man. I'm excited, brother. We're gonna run it back, ladies and gentlemen. Jamal Bacchus.